Hello everyone, Rebecca here, I am Mama24. Welcome to my stop along the CottageCutz Easter hop. We are back with great inspiration for you to do your Easter crafting this year, featuring our CottageCutz Dies. The CottageCutz Dies can be purchased at the scrappingcottage.com website. Not only do they have great paper piecing dies and sentiment dies, they also have some great basics dies like my set here. Right now they're having a 70% off sale, and it just so happens that their CottageCutz basic shapes are in that category. So I believe they're $6.89 US for a great set of the basics cuts. So definitely go take a look at the CottageCutz website. They also have, I think it's 20% off their newest spring Easter release. So go take a look at their new adorable designs that they have out. So to participate in the giveaways along the hop, and there is a giveaway at each channel on the stop, 6 giveaways in all because there's 6 hop participants. You need to be a subscriber to each of our channels. You need to be a visible subscriber, so make sure that your channel settings are set to visible. So if we click on your channel, we can see who you are subscribed to, and leave a comment on all of the videos. I will show you the prize that I am giving away on my channel at the end of this video, and my giveaway is open internationally. The star of my show is going to be my basics nesting dies. I really wanted you to look at your basics dies in a different way, and there are so many great things that you can do with just one die set. And the paper piecing dies that CottageCutz has is a great way to embellish your projects that you've made with your basics dies. The names of the dies that I will be featuring from CottageCutz in my projects today. This one is the cross-stitched oval set. And as you can see here, it gives you a great cross stitch along the edge of your die, and the outer edge is cut cleanly. The largest die in this set is 4.5 inches tall by 3.5 inches wide, and the smallest one is 2 inches by 1 inch. The other dies that I used are from their last year's Easter release. This one is the Happy Easter phrase. I love that the CottageCutz give you the approximate assembled size of the die. So this is 3.8 inches by 3.1 inches, the largest finished die. And they come on a plate. You're not worried about losing the small dies in the CottageCutz sets because they're all on one plate, and you can cut the whole die in one pass through your die cutting machine. This one is the Mr. Peter Rabbit. The approximate size as shown on the package finished is 3.1 inches long by 2.8 inches high. And this is what it looks like here. I really love this set. You could do so much with this little set. You can move his arms in different directions, but instead of just telling you, I'm going to show you what I did. I'm going to pull my first project in here, which is also my largest, and I made a shaker box with my basics CottageCutz, the cross-stitch oval set. I also use the Mr. Peter Rabbit. So it is a lidded box. That is the bottom of it, which happens to be the largest die in the set. The lid is also the largest die in the set. And to make the shaker portion, I used the 2 largest and nested them up. I cut them out several times. As you can see here, I think there's probably about 8 layers, and then the acetate, and then one more layer to cover up the acetate. I put sequins in the lid to give it that great shake, and then I used the Peter Rabbit die to do the decorating on the front. I used clear foam dots to adhere my little bunny to the lid, I used a My Favorite Things die, again with the oval die. So there's another example of how you can use your basics dies and cut the grass border straight across that strip of green paper after it had been cut out with the ovals. And I did a second layer behind. As you can see, the bunny is different than on the packaging. Instead of making the wagon on this project, I just used the wagon base to make a basket for his egg collecting, and also his arms are facing differently. You can do whatever you want when you paper piece your die together. This would make a really cute bobblehead if you put an action wobble behind Mr. Peter Rabbit's head. The paper I used throughout my project is from Echo Park Celebrate Easter by Lori Whitlock. This is a brand new pad because this is going to be part of my giveaway that I will be showing you at the end. You might be wondering how I made the box. So I'm just going to pull out this grass here. All I did was cut my box to the height that I wanted it, plus a 1/2 inch so that I could score it. And at that 1/2 inch, you can kind of see here, I cut notches in. I'm going to insert a picture here of what this strip of paper looked like. And then on my base that I cut out with the CottageCutz Basics cross stitch die, I went around and glued each of those little notches around the shape of my oval die. The lid is constructed the same way. I just used a smaller piece of paper, a smaller width of paper, again with a 1/2 inch scored, and then cut up to the score marks to get the notches to glue down onto the top of my lid. I then used a next size die to cut out the insides of the lid and the insides of the base to cover up those notches so that you couldn't see them at the top and the bottom of the boxes, and it worked out really, really well. The box is quite sturdy. Then I trimmed it out with some white pom-pom trim. Definitely take a look at your basics dies, whatever shape they may be. You could do this type of a box with a circle as well, but any type of oval, as I've used here, will work to create a box like this. So I hope you find some inspiration and definitely give that a try. My next project is a tunnel card. And again, I've used those same dies, and it folds flat so that you can send it in the mail. And then when the recipient gets it, they can pop it up and display it. And you've got this really fun 3D scene. In all the layers of the tunnel, I used the second largest die. Here is the Peter Rabbit. This time he is pulling his wagon. And I've got carrots in his wagon. He's also holding his carrot so that it looks like he's eating it. And in the background, I've used that MFT die again with the grass border. And then I've made a whole bunch of carrots, which also comes in this Mr. Peter Rabbit die with the pattern paper from Lori Whitlock, as if he's going to collect carrots for his Easter dinner. And he's having a snack on his way home. The Happy Easter sentiment and all the tiny little flowers that you see here are from this Happy Easter phrase. I also used my Pink and Main cloud stencil and my Tumble Glass Distress Oxide ink, stenciled them on with my blender brushes. And it just gives it a little something to make it look like he's walking outside. The cardstock that I'm using for my tunnel card and my shadow box happened to be 110-pound cardstock by Recollections. All of the links to the products that I used in today's projects, if I can, I'm going to link them down in the description box for you to go take a look at. All right, getting on to my next project. I made some tags, and again using that same pattern paper. The tags I cut out from a Hero Arts nesting die set, and there's 3 different sizes of tags here, and you can probably see already where I've incorporated the basics oval die. So I have cut the top layer of the tags with a basics die like this. So you tuck it in, and then you only die cut as far as where you want. Don't put the thing all the way through or else you'll get an impression. And this die is actually the smallest oval in this set. The Easter die that you see here is a new one from Studio Katia. For this one, I used the next size up. I just put it through my die cutting machine like this and cut it. You don't have to be careful to get it straight. On some of them, as you can tell, I did them wonky. So for this one, I just kind of turned it and made the die go through until it was done cutting, being sure not to press here to make an impression. These little chickies here are from a memory box die that I have, and I also put some really tiny little googly eyes on them, so I thought they were so cute, like they were kind of eyeing each other from behind. And here is the largest die that I cut. This one I did leave wonky, and I just love that it leaves the impression of the cross stitches in there. But it's really subtle, and it just adds a little something to the tags. Here I've used those little googly eyes again. And this one, I also added the second last portion of this die and just hole punched it in the top. My last and final project, I made some bag toppers. Now you've seen me do this on my channel before, and I just couldn't resist doing it again. Since I'm wanting you to take a look at your basics dies again and not just use them for framing or nesting, you can do so much more with your basics dies. And I made these bag toppers. I've made a little bit of a template so that you can kind of see how this went together. My piece of paper that eventually becomes the bag topper, cut to 4 inches by 3 inches, and I just eyeballed the center of it with the smallest die. And I run this through, just eyeballing the center after I scored the center here, just kind of looking where the center of it might be. Ran it completely through my die cutting machine. Removed that, and then I took in my next die. I strategically cut this one to only cut until the center point. I did not want it to cut all the way through, or else this would just cut out an oval frame. But doing it only halfway by putting your cutting plates just up to the score mark and running it through that way, you're left with the bottom uncut. And then I left my die in there just to get the impression of the X's onto the cardstock. And I ran the whole thing again through my die cutting machine, this time all the way through, but with the embossing plate sandwich so that it would only emboss the cardstock, not cut it through. If you had cutting dies without any type of decoration along the top, that step you could omit. But I wanted them to look cohesive on the top and the bottom, so I did impress them onto my cardstock. And I will show you the bag toppers themselves. So then all you have to do once you've folded your bag topper is put adhesive onto this side, and then you can put them onto your bag. So that's what the back looks like. I've just packaged up some almonds and some mini eggs. I hope you're enjoying the hop. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. You'll want to stop along at Betty, Scrap Passion 01, Sherry at CPR Craft Pray Repeat, Elaine, Max and Shoji, Carol at Carol Herlock, Janet at Sugar Shine Designs, and of course me, Rebecca, I am Mama24. All the links will be in the description box for easy hopping. Commenting on our hop videos is open now until midnight, April 11th, Eastern Standard Time. So you have until April 11th to watch and comment on all of the videos, so be sure to do that. We will be back here to announce the winners of our giveaways on April 15th at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I hope you'll join us again to see if you are one of our lucky winners. So the prize that I'm giving away is this Jelly Bean Soup Spoonful of Soul stamp set. I'm also giving away this paper pad I showed you before. These Easter wooden shapes that I found at my dollar store. I am in Canada, so these are from the Dollarama, Easter themed. These are also from my Dollarama, these cute little Easter bunny felties, and I'm giving you 2 of each color. And also these adorable little puffy egg stickers. So there it is, my prize for the CottageCutz Easter Hop. Thank you for stopping by, and all of the links and all of the information will be in the description box. I hope you all have a happy Easter and stay safe, everybody. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.